Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. It's a rarity that I review a Franck Muller. However, once in a while, something that lives up to the brand's reputation shows up on my doorstep. Not another Salida, Soprod, or ETA caliber here, but a Franck Muller manufacturer flying tourbillon. The watch in my hand, the full Sapphire Vanguard Skeleton Tourbillon Sapphire Color Dreams. A watch launched in 2021 using a movement that first debuted in a very different form back in 2001. This is a watch that deservedly bears the signature Master of Complications. Like I said, Franck Muller is more of a mass market brand than an horlogerie brand, but in this case, we get something that actually does feature an extraordinary level of exclusivity and watchmaking. Given that it is made of sapphire, despite being very large, it's only about 85.5 grams, so just about 3 ounces. On the wrist, you can see it's physically imposing, though again, it's fairly light in weight because it's almost entirely aluminum and sapphire. Measuring it across, this is technically a 44 millimeter watch, but I measured side to side, and it's difficult to measure it at extremity without involving the crown, but it's about 45 to 46 across, if we're honest. And from lug to lug across the wrist, it's 54.7 millimeters with a 13.5 millimeter thickness. Now you can see the case back is cambered, so it sort of wraps around your wrist a bit. It's easy to wear. It's actually quite easy to wear. And I would say if your wrist is my size or larger, it's going to fit just fine. Again, it's not supposed to look small or proportional. As long as it doesn't look too gonzo, you're good to go. So 16 centimeters circumference and up. It should fit underneath jacket cuffs, maybe not the tightest of dress sleeves. Let's take one last look down the barrel here. I've got a little bit of clearance on each side. The strap is very substantial, and as you can see, fixed the case using screws and a bracket, so it's there to stay. It's white with a little bit of a semi-gloss to it. It's very thickly bolstered with a folded edge, a monotone stitch. You can see on the bottom, calfskin, no crimping, no gouging, and that it is a Franck Muller factory strap. A little bit of an oddity here. You can see this is a factory buckle, and this factory buckle is made of white plastic. So the toy-like lightness of this watch is a pervasive theme. Every component shares the central guiding philosophy of this watch. We've got a crown made of aluminum. We've got a movement that is made of aluminum. We've got a case that is made of sapphire. Now, sapphire, although it's stone-like in hardness, is actually incredibly light. It feels almost like titanium. Taking a look at the case, you can see it's an enormously complex form, and that it is pretty much seamless across the top. It is one enormous block, bezel and case, so a monoblock with everything loading through the back of the watch. Now, if you want a scratch-resistant watch, the limit of what's possible is pretty much sapphire. It can only routinely be scratched by diamond, and everything short of the crown, topside on this watch, is made of sapphire. You can see we've got a chaptering inboard, likely made of white plastic. Color Dreams, a long-running theme on Franck Muller watches. The Color Dreams, a sort of kaleidoscope of bright rainbow colors. And the movement here, despite an architecture that dates back to 2001, this is the FM 2001 V1AL. Despite the vintage of the movement, the bridges here are made of aluminum, which gives them a sort of almost like a motorcycle aftermarket or BMX bicycle aftermarket look, as a lot of parts that go on moto and BMX from the aftermarket are anodized aluminum, and this has that same vivid sense of anodized aluminum hardware that you get on a lot of those vehicles and the parts for them. The tourbillon is a large one, and as you can see, it is a flying tourbillon with the Franck Muller logo. Uses KIF shock protection. It's 18,000 vibrations per hour, so 2.5 hertz. It does use a Breguet overcoil, so no matter what position the watch is in, it's a very consistent timekeeper. We have one mainspring barrel, and it endows the watch with a 60-hour manual wind power reserve, and all this pivots on 21 joules. Being a flying tourbillon, it has no upper bridge to block your view. And although you can't really see it, My understanding is that the underside of the tourbillon sits on a roller bearing system. Actually, it's ball bearings is what it is. And you can see the reverse. It is credibly decorated. And it is a large, properly sized and shaped movement to fill this case. While the vintage of the architecture, the drivetrain is older, and you can see the drivetrain's all clustered towards the center, the movement has been properly sized and shaped to fit this case. It's 30 meters water resistant. It actually does have a screw-down crown, but you still don't want to swim with it because it's 30 meters. Very few of these were made. You're probably wondering, what is Watchland? Watchland is the large industrial complex that Franck Muller and its tenant brands have to manufacture their watches. That's what that is. It's a sprawling factory involving the Franck factory, component makers, and the other brands underneath them. The watch does have a little bit of lume, surprisingly. If this is your idea of a dream watch, big, sapphire, freakishly light, bright, a tourbillon, and a historically important brand showcasing its wheelhouse. This is Franck Muller, truly as the master of complications, doing something that feels like a real peer to the likes of Audemars Piguet or Jaeger-LeCoultre. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.